It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of rAVe TV, where we broadcast from many different places to give you the live news of what's going on in Pro AV. And I have a guest host this week joining me. This is Emily Dean. Gary is having some technical difficulties, so he will not be able to join us for this episode. And as I have mentioned before, I hate talking to myself for 30 minutes. So Emily Dean is joining me. Welcome, Emily. I'm so glad that we are helping you realize your greatest dream of being a host on this TV show. So I know you love this, so I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much. I was, if the audience hears the birds in the background, I was instructed to make sure I have good lighting, so I came outside. And luckily today is a sunny day. So
honestly, it's nice and relaxing. So I think that's just going to provide everyone with just like a nice little, nice refreshing breath, to hear the birds and a car go by. Maybe it'll just lull someone into just being relaxed.
Correct.
Because I used to hate Wednesdays as a day of the week, because it's just it's not the beginning of the week. It's not the end of the week. You're just you still have so much more of the week to go. So maybe if someone's feeling like that, they're going to hear the birds and they're going to be actually, today's a great day.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I know you are going to the E4 at Santa Clara, and I know that the team has been getting ready for that and packing for that. So tell me a little bit about what an E4 entails. I've never been lucky enough to go. So tell me a little bit about what that's going to be like.
So the E4 experience is a 4-time event, 4 times a year event put on by the Exertis Almo team. And it's where partners and resellers can attend the E4 experience for free. It's all free. And they receive class leading education. The day kicks off with a keynote by Gary. This in Santa Clara, he'll be delivering his keynote, 8 cool new products and 5 new technologies that will change the AV industry forever. That's the title.
That's a long title.
Yes, it is. This is the second time he will be delivering it. So excuse my cat, but he is working on that new keynote. So he's going to be kind of discussing the 13 up and coming technologies and how they'll change the AV industry and how integrators and resellers and also end users can take advantage of those. In addition to Gary's keynote, there's a number of different classes led by instructors, including Tom Kerr and Tom Simpson. Anything from conducting a needs analysis to how to start to what the marketplace is telling you about your strategy and what to do about it. Also, a initiative that Exertis Almo has been spearheading is DEI. And so Melody Craigmile, their VP of Marketing and Communication, is going to be leading a panel on how to start a dialogue about diversity, equity, and inclusion in your organization. And that's one thing that she's been focusing on that panel. I think will be Alicia Hendley, Rob Voorhees, who's a BDM at Exertis Almo, and then I believe their head of HR there at Exertis Almo. So that's a really good opportunity. And all of these sessions are CTS RU certified. So
that's awesome.
Attendees can come and get all of this education, free CTS RUs, and then also there's a trade show floor that showcases products and solutions from leading vendors, the 45 plus vendors that Exertis Almo has. They walk around the busy show floor. And so vendors like Epson, Samsung, LG, Avacor, Legrand, I could go on, all have products and solutions set up there that many of these individuals and attendees may not be able to see in person, or would only be able to see it like an InfoComm, and with InfoComm
when that's so busy.
Correct. And with InfoComm being in Orlando this year, some of the West Coast folks may not be able to make it out to InfoComm. So it's a great opportunity for everyone. And you can learn more by going to e4experience.com.
Yeah, that's awesome. And there's free food. So I know that
And free food. And
one
cookies.
thing one thing about AV Tweeps, they love some free food on a show floor. So yes. And I've heard good things about the food at an E4. I've heard that you are fed well. So make sure to go to e4experience.com if you want to learn more. I believe it's April 25th, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
April 25th in Santa Clara at the Hyatt Regency, I think.
Awesome. Very cool. Yep. So another like live event that's happening this week is HIMSS 2023. I've never been to HIMSS. It's in Chicago. But one of our sponsors and partners, rAVe Pro AV, we mentioned it last week, but I wanted to mention it one more time. If you're local, it's still going on right now. So rAVe is showcasing its connected health solutions at HIMSS. It's in Chicago. It started yesterday and it's going on until the 21st. So go check them out if you're there at HIMSS, or if you're local to Chicago. Go get in there and check out rAVe. They've got so many great Pro AV solutions, and they're really solidifying themselves as like kind of a leader in like healthcare AV. So definitely check them out if you were there.
Yeah, I'm sure that show is pretty interesting to see the crossover and how products that we may see in Pro AV can translate over into healthcare, into the healthcare facility. So
it's becoming quite a bigger like vertical for us, for sure. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like we eventually have like a healthcare publication. Like I can see that like in the next 5 years for us, for sure.
Yeah, that should be on your that should be on your roadmap stuff.
Okay, yeah, just add that to the list. Continuing on, I wanted to once again plug, we are about to close the April 2023 temperature check survey, but I wanted to just remind everyone to go and fill that out. The topic this month is about sustainability, just because, you know, Earth Day is this month. It's a big month for sustainability. And even if your company is not really focused on sustainability efforts, we still want you guys to take I think it takes maybe 3 minutes to answer this survey. We want you guys to fill it out because it's important for us to kind of know where our industry stands with sustainability. It gives us kind of a jumping off point as we continue to look at AV and sustainability, and even more reason to answer it. If you fill it out, you answer it, you're automatically in the running for one of two $50 Amazon gift cards, which is a very good deal if you ask me.
That's right. And then also for sustainability, we have a launch and learn tomorrow that is sustainability in AV. That is actually a joint venture and a joint effort by rAVe and Commercial Integrator. So
and we're going to be talking about those results, and I'm actually going to be on it. I'm taking over for Megan tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So awesome. So you're going to talk with Dan and talk about all of that. And then we have some great partners, including Legrand, Netgear, Philips, PPDS, Shure, Sony, and Visionary Solutions, who have all generously donated. I don't know the total amount that we're donating to the SAVE organization, but I'm sure that you'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yes, but I think we hit our goal for sure. So awesome. I'm very excited to say that we are donating. I know we'll announce it tomorrow, but we're really excited about how much we get to donate to these organizations that are focused on sustainability and AV. But continuing on, speaking of things you can fill out, voting is now open for the rAVe Readers' Choice Awards 2023. It's going to be open. We're changing it a little bit this year. It's going to be open until May 24th, and we are announcing it earlier. We are announcing it June 7th. So go ahead and get your votes in. We do only say it's one vote per, or one entire form fill out per person. You don't have to vote for every single category. That's why we have I don't have an opinion on each of the questions. So if you really only have a stake in 2-3 of the categories, we still want you guys to vote, because at the end of the day, these awards are from you guys, our readers. Right. So we want you to at least vote on those categories of those companies or those people in the AV industry, those influencers that you feel really strongly deserve this award. And we are very proud to say that these come from you guys. So definitely go in there, get your votes in. I checked this morning, Emily, we already have hundreds of submissions. So I'm excited. I think that we're probably going to have thousands.
I'd love to have a record year. right?
I would too. So get the word out. I know all of the nominees have been really helpful in like supporting this and posting it on social. They all want to win. So go ahead and make sure to get your votes in and share it with your friends. Everyone in the AV industry, we want you guys to vote.
Yeah, and I think we did a good job of kind of covering the full AV and the full industry. We have everything
Oh my
ranging
God.
from new projector brand, display brand, AV over IP product, the best. We have the top 3 new products of the year, including favorite AV product, digital signage product, and UCC product of the year. And then we even included our integrator friends. So, yeah, I think we did a great job of covering the
Yes.
entire
The
gamut.
entire industry. Yes,
That's
there are
right.
32 categories. So you by no means have to vote in all 32 of them, but we want you to at least vote in the ones that you care about. So please do so. And speaking of a company that is nominated for an award, Shure is nominated for Favorite Audio Product of 2023, and that is for its IntelliMix Room. So I wanted to talk to Chris Lyons today. How's it going?
It's great, and we're so excited to be a nominee for the Reader's Choice Award.
Yeah, which is very exciting because, you know, anyone can nominate, but I really think, I believe y'all's submission came from like readers who, you know, so just people who just really love IntelliMix Room, which is always like really exciting. So I'm so glad to see that y'all were nominated. And you're actually wanting to talk to me a little bit about IntelliMix Room today, correct?
Yeah, IntelliMix Room has been a really exciting product for us because so many people are transitioning from hardware DSP to software DSP. And actually, you mentioned Infocom before. I think we're actually going to be doing a panel discussion at Infocom where we talk to some end users about using IntelliMix Room and what has that transition been like for them. So if people are going to be at Infocom, they should definitely check the schedule and come by and hear some of the feedback on that because it is really a terrific product. So we're excited about that.
That's awesome. So, yeah, tell me a little bit more about the DSP software. I know a lot of people are kind of moving, as you said, in that direction.
Yeah, and people are trying to get rid of hardware boxes, trying to simplify rooms, minimize install time. And we talk to installers all the time, and the theme of time saving just keeps coming up over and over and over again. The products are getting more integrated, they're getting easier to set up, but it's all coming down to how much time do my technicians actually have to spend on site in the room, because the sooner you can, get out of that room and onto the next one, that's saving the client time and money and effort. So
Yeah.
one of the things we did with IntelliMix Room is we kind of streamlined the licensing process a little bit. And what we were finding is that some installers were getting on site and just through a gap in communication, nobody had set up a license for IntelliMix Room. So then you're there, the clock is running, and you're trying to get this done and move on, and you've got to get on the phone with customer service at Shure and get all that worked out. And it's not that hard, but we thought, how can we take that out of the equation?
Sure.
So now IntelliMix Room has a 90-day free license built right into the software. So if you walk into that room and nobody has already done the licensing setup or anything like that, you just click a box in the software. You don't even need internet access and it starts working. So
That's awesome.
you can get it up and running, make it work for the client, and then take care of the back end stuff later. And you got 90 days to do it.
That's awesome. So then can I ask what happens after those 90 days are up? Like how is that client like reminded, okay, now I should really focus on getting that licensing done?
You start getting emails that say, hey, you need to, set up a license, or it's the same thing that would happen if you had an existing license and it's, about to expire.
Okay.
Like, I think it's 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance, it'll start reminding you. So this will do the same thing. And, a few weeks in advance, it'll start saying, hey, you've got to take care of this licensing thing. So you've got plenty of advance notice to get it done. It doesn't wait till the last second.
Yes. And like you said, that might not take a long time, but it is just like extra stress and added, like, oh God, now there's another thing I got to figure out before I can leave this project. So that's really cool that
Right.
y'all
And
were
there's
able to do
always,
that.
there's usually several people involved in these kinds of projects.
Sure.
Somebody's handling some of these back end account things, and somebody else is actually there with the screwdriver who's doing it. And, but so one of the things we did is we were talking about, how easy is this to install in Telemix Room? And we thought, well, let's make a video about it. And they said, well, let's get somebody who doesn't know anything about this. And of course, I raised my hand because when they need somebody clueless, they call me.
Yeah.
So we made a short video about how quick and easy is it to set up Intellimix Room. So let's take a look at that.
Cool.
Intellimix Room DSP software makes it easier than ever to get great audio in your meeting room. Supposedly, with its new room setup feature, I can install Intellimix Room in the same time it takes me to heat up my breakfast. There's nothing that starts my day better than a spinach and anchovy sandwich. I've been putting off setting up this room for way too long, and now I need to get it done today. But they said that all the devices are already connected to the network, so all I have to do is go to something called the system tray. Oh yeah, Intellimix Room, room setup, there it is. Okay, we'll call it Chris's room, and it's 16 channels.
Chris, that smells terrible. What is that?
Ah, shoot, I forgot to purchase a license. I'll use the free 90-day trial license that's included. End user license agreement. Has anybody actually read those? Okay, add microphones. There's my MXA 310. Add. We don't need a mute button in this room. Output devices. Let's not forget the loudspeaker, MXN5. Add. Finish. Really? That's all there is to it? I'm even smarter than I thought. So in less than 2 minutes, I've installed Intellimix Room, and now I have state-of-the-art auto mixing, echo cancellation, and noise reduction for my meeting room without all that hardware. The good news is I look like a hero. The bad news is now I have to go back to work. If you want to learn more, you probably have to click on something. Thanks for watching.
Okay, yeah, we are live. Okay, great. So yeah, that video showed it. It is very, very easy to install.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to do it without reading anything or anything like that. It really is as easy as it looks. And just so everyone's aware, that was a real sandwich from a real 7-Eleven. And I took a bite, and the camera guy was like, "We didn't know you were actually going to bite the sandwich. You didn't have to do that." Because after 2 minutes in the microwave, it was like overheated and limp,
Yeah.
and it was,
Not your favorite snack for
no,
so
definitely not. Fortunately, they didn't make me do 7 retakes.
much prefer the goldfish from your other video.
Yeah, that one, snacks I can definitely get into.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do respect that about Sure so much. You guys put so much emphasis on making things as easy as possible for the installer. And that is something that I think is so great about you guys as a company. So last thing I will ask you, Chris, is where can people find more information about Intellimix Room?
Oh, you can go to the website, shure.com/Intellimix, I believe, and it's got a link to Intellimix Room software, and you'll see, I think it says room configuration or room setup or something like that. There's a video there that'll take you right to that video, and it's also on our YouTube channel too,
Awesome.
with other, Intellimix Room videos and lots of other ones about wireless and all kinds of good stuff. But, we're working on all kinds of exciting stuff, so definitely make sure that you stop by the Shure booth at Infocom. We're already in high gear getting ready.
Very exciting. I can't wait to see you guys there. So once again, thank you so much for joining me on rAVe TV today.
My pleasure. It's always great to talk to you guys.
You too. So bring in Emily back on now. Hello. So Emily, let's get into the rest of the news for this
Perfect.
episode. So I wanted to talk a little bit about a new Shure product that I was just actually really excited about. And this is a collaboration between Shure and Gator. And so there's a collection of new microphone stands, cases, and more. And these were, is this show pronounced like, is it NAM or just like NAMM? I don't know how it's pronounced, but
I think it's NAM.
NAM at NAM 2023. So
yeah,
I've never been to that
Chris
show.
says,
Hopefully,
it's
okay,
NAM.
great. So hopefully I can go one day in the future. But this collaboration was really exciting because now there are Shure branded microphone arms that, you know, work for this MV7 and work for virtually like honestly a ton of their mics, because there are ones that are proper arms. There are ones that can go at like right at your desk, like a smaller stand for those who work from home but still want great audio. There's a collection of these. So to find out more about that, you can check it out by scanning that QR code and reading the whole story on ravepubs.com. I was honestly like, I'm really waiting because I hope that the Gator and Shure arms are featured on colorware, because then that means one day eventually maybe I could have
literally just gonna say that now
maybe,
then you'll have a full setup of rAVe purple.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, I am selfish and I want this to serve my own needs. So better believe I will be keeping my eyes peeled on the Colorware website so that I can get my rAVe purple Shure microphone arm. So, you know, just keeping an eye out. Big news that came out last week that Gary posted. So NDI has like this new phase with the purpose of like scaling NDI as the IP standard that connects all devices. So this vision that NDI has is for a universe where all hardware, software, and cloud devices become seamlessly interoperable. Great idea, right? Well, Gary kind of brings up a few questions, as he tends to do as Gary K.
Gary K opinionated? No.
What? That's crazy. He brought up a few questions that he was posing. He's saying like, this is a really cool idea, and it does have a ton of potentials. But he said that during the live event where NDI announced this, he asked like a few questions during the live stream that didn't get answered, where he was like, how is this going to work essentially? But I don't know. Like, I'm not the person to ask about this, but I do think it's like great. Like, yeah, if we're an idea of one day all video products being essentially like all interoperable, wonderful idea. But like who's testing the interoperability?
Exactly. Who's testing it? Like, and how do we know it's ratified or verified, and when will it be ratified? So
yes,
it brings up some good questions.
Yes. And so like I know that like NDI is already like has a ton of like current NDI HX3 products that have been like submitted as like being interoperable with them. So like I know that they're already testing all of those. So like who's going to be the one to test every product? Like that's just a lot going on. But and I'm not saying that this is not real. I don't know. I'm not the person who knows this. I'm just saying the news.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a good idea, but I am waiting to find out like more information about how they're going to make it possible. So,
yeah, and like I said, it's interesting, and Gary does bring up some good points that hopefully they will address at some point or issue some type of statement, or maybe we need to get Gary an interview with someone from NDI and someone from the organization so that he can address these questions, because I'm sure he's not the only one who has some of these questions.
No, he's just probably like asking them the loudest.
Correct.
But continuing on, our last but certainly not least sponsor and partner that we are very thankful for here on rAVe TV is rAVe. And even if you are not super familiar with rAVe, you are probably familiar with at least one of the many brands under its umbrella. Exactly. They have Chief is like one. Honestly, it's, how many brands is it? Gary and I counted one day. I think it's like more than 30.
30. Wow. That's a
I
lot.
think I want to say, I don't know, maybe I made that up, but anyway, like they have so many brands under the umbrella. And they were a 2022 rAVe Reader's Choice Award winner for favorite social media account because they are very consistent and very great about posting on all of their social media like every single day. And so they wanted us to tell you guys to go follow them on LinkedIn. They literally have daily posts highlighting newest solutions, helpful resources, upcoming events. And as you know, because we share a lot of the resources here on rAVe TV, like a lot of what we share is not an advertisement for Legrand. It's here's how Legrand can help you solve these problems that already exist in the industry. And so LinkedIn is just kind of another way to connect with them about that. So
yeah,
definitely.
And Legrand, with it being such a large company and such a force in the industry, they also have a ton of experts that I'm sure anyone in the industry can reach out to, talk to, and rely on. I know that you guys talked about it, I think last week, maybe on rAVe TV, that Joe Cornwall is retiring. So they're losing one very, very valuable resource, but that's not to say that they don't have others that are coming to light and making more of a name for themselves. So it's just one thing that goes to show you of how the resources that Legrand has, and it's not just the company LinkedIn, but also all of the individuals and all of the experts from Legrand too.
Yeah. So I was like trying to find a list of like all of their brands. So they've got Chief, C2G, Daylight, Luxel, Middle Atlantic, Vadio, OnQ. Like, chances are you have at least used something of one of these brands. So definitely check them out. Go follow them on LinkedIn. They're fantastic. And we are very grateful that they are working with us on rAVe TV. So continuing on, another like really cool product announcement from last week was Aver's like no announcement about this very, very cool USB based UCC camera. It's Aver Information, so it's under that brand umbrella. This is the A30, and I have seen it before because I think that they showed it at maybe
Where did
ISC.
You see it? Did you see it at ISC?
I think I saw it at ISC.
I didn't get a chance to see it in person.
Because like I remember it, this is like a very unforgettable camera. So it's like an all-in-one device, and it's a document camera, a microphone, and a speaker. And it is very, very cool. It's designed for huddle spaces, small meeting rooms, but it's also designed for like a personal desk or a hot desk or your home office. So it's got a 13 megapixel camera. It's got 4K resolution. It can be used as a webcam for video conferencing, a document camera to visualize like materials that you're like writing on, or
I grew up with the document cameras in school, and I'm sure you did too. And then so when I first entered the industry, there were electronic document cameras. That was something that was coming out, and then they went away. But now as we're back in, like as we're in this hybrid world and all of these video conferencing, there's all kinds of times where I'm on Zooms or Teams calls and I'm trying to like show a document, and if I have my background blurred, you can't read it, or I'm like trying to do this. So I actually I see the use, and I see really how the document camera functionality could really be useful and helpful, especially in creative applications and design thinking and drawing out and kind of collaborating in that aspect. So I think that's one really useful.
Yeah, because like depending on like how you're joining a meeting, like I don't love like using Zoom whiteboard if I can't like write on it. Like I am really bad. I'm really bad at using my like mouse to write. Like I hate even signing my name. It never looks like anything.
Right.
So this is like, I would prefer like using a document camera to like draw what I'm like talking about, even if like no one else can draw on it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think that'll be a really useful feature of this camera.
So definitely check it out. Go scan the QR code. Go read the whole story at ravepubs.com. It is the Aver A30. So very cool.
I'm sure they'll have it at InfoComm. too.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. They would be remiss if they did not. So you can, if you're attending InfoComm, you can check that out there too. So continuing on, this is a story that I noticed was like, you know how we have like the trending stories like
Mhm.
on our webpage. I sometimes pull stories to talk about on rAVe TV based on like what I see people are reading a lot. And this next story is one of those. This is about Waves Audio and Audinate. They together debuted the Waves Cloud audio mixer with Dante. I know Dante is another one of those that everyone wants it to be able to incorporate. This is like Audinate's big thing is Dante. And so this audio mixer has Dante in it via Dante Connect. So it is a 100% cloud-based audio mixer. So it's got audio, mix control, and creative processing capabilities with Waves plugin integration as well. So this is pretty much a very scalable, broadcast ready workflow, just it being cloud-based. And so it's got a lot of, it's like a very big range of audio processing plugins. It's very good for broadcast engineers to be able to like integrate like audio, like very quality audio processing into like a cloud production workflow.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out as well. And I think it has up to 256 channels of audio, which is really
Yeah,
good.
I was just reading that and was gonna make sure that you mentioned that. So that is quite scalable.
Quite scalable. So check that out also. And like one of the last things I wanted to talk about, I have a case study of the week sometimes, and this one is of GLP. It's the GLP Impression X5. It gave a feature-rich wash for, I don't know if you're familiar with this artist, Emily. Her name's like Sigrid, but she's Norwegian, so I'm sure I'm like pronouncing it wrong. But she's very good.
To tell you the pronunciation.
I know. I need to talk to Jonas. Yeah, that's kind of why I included her because Jonas really likes her.
Really?
So yes. So I don't know if you guys know Jonas Robstad is my friend, but he is also a musical artist. He is the one who created all of our theme songs for rAVe TV, Study with Steph, Rants and Raves. Like if you hear that voice, you know it is my friend Jonas, and he is actually a musician. Like he is like consistently coming out with new music on iTunes. So go check him out if you want to. His name is Joonas. He's really good. But he is a fan of her and he's covered her songs before. And that's how I became familiar with her. But
Cool.
honestly, the lighting on her tour was really cool. Like I went and watched videos after reading this case study. So definitely go check it out. Like GLP is like one of those classic, very good lighting companies. The Impression X5 wash light is like a very good classic wash for those like tours that need that. And yeah, go check it out. The full case study. It was posted by Tucker Adkins on ravepubs.com. And last couple of things for you. I know you mentioned it earlier, but our sustainability launch and learn, it is tomorrow, April 20th. I think it is at 1 p.m. Is that one? Yes, 1 p.m. EDT. Yes, correct. So you can scan that QR code and register. Yeah, like this is a collaboration between us and Commercial Integrator. And we instead of having sponsors, we are having people donate to a sustainable charity. So it's going to be a really great conversation about the importance of sustainability, NAV, and how we are moving that way as an industry. Like it is, honestly, I've talked about this before. It's one of my dreams to have a completely sustainable AV trade show.
Yeah.
Where,
at ISE, a lot of the stands were kind of working towards that. Like the Sharpen EC stand was 100%, I think, 100% produced and constructed with recyclable materials and sustainable materials. So, I mean, we're working towards that.
Because like trade shows create so much waste. They really do. And like we're really good about it as a company. Every time we've had a stand, I know that like the furniture, we buy a lot of our furniture from IKEA and then we like donate it to like different schools or local, like anyone who needs it after we're done. But yeah, I just wish that we could all do that instead of just like throwing stuff away because that's just like a lot. But continuing on, one last thing I will say is we talked about Infocom a lot during this show. So make sure to go register infocomshow.org. And if you use our code rAVE, R-A-V-E, you will get free entry onto the show floor. So then all that you need to do is book your flight and your hotel. So that's just like one expense that gets covered for you. And we hope we will see you at Infocom. It's June 12th through 16th?
14, 15, 16. But then,
14,
12,
is
13 is the education.
Is education, yeah. So, but the show floor is the 14th through the 16th. So I'm excited, as usual, going back to Orlando, my second home.
I'm excited. I like Orlando better than Vegas.
I do too. It's easier to get to the show floor.
Yeah, and I can't handle the dryness of Vegas, so
no.
I much prefer the humidity of Orlando. Yeah, but that's also probably from being from North Carolina, where we're used to the humidity.
We're used to like swampy air.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So on that note, that has been another episode of rAVe TV. Thank you, Emily, for being my guest host on this episode.
Yeah.
I know that you have very much enjoyed your time. And always, we are weekly Wednesdays at noon Eastern, and we go live in many places, including the rAVe Pub's website, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and I think that is about it. And we will see you next week, same time, same place. So once again, I'm Seth Beggett. This is Emily Dean. Maybe Gary will join us next time. We'll see. Bye, everyone.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.